Hey everyone, it's been a while since I've streamed, but I kind of felt like streaming a bit more, so I'm going to get into a Timberborn stream. It's going 1.0 soon. I'm really impressed with the state of the game. So we'll get right into it. I have a pre-existing colony here. I'm going to just play a little bit tonight. And maybe on future streams we'll start a new one if people are interested. Oh, let me fix the capture here. There we go. Okay, I think we're all set up here. But please let me know if there's something I've overlooked. Just gonna observe a little bit before I decide what to work on next. I just completed a couple of pretty major projects. Expansions to the capacity of the reservoirs here and a little bit of connecting all the power grid. It is all one grid. And then the transit tubes, it's all one grid for those as well. So there's quite a bit of underground stuff happening here. Hey, dude. Back from your trip, or are you still on it? Good to see you. How's the relative volume of things going? Oh yeah? How was everything? Curious to see more pictures. I'd imagine maybe you posted some. I haven't really checked your channel yet. Cool. Oh, okay. Feckin' great. That's awesome. I'm really glad that you got that. Hopefully she had an equally good time. Audio's fine. Nerd! My man. I hope everyone's doing alright. It's good to see you two. What's new, nerd? Yeah, fair enough. Currently working on the final building, the Earth Repopulator. It's not very complicated compared to some of the other stuff you might see me play, but they've increased the complexity quite a lot, especially with the 1.0 stuff. They added automation. It's incredibly welcome. So these are all like tracking the count of items in my storages, and like when the storage gets full, it tells the workers to stop working at the buildings responsible for making them. So it's real simple, not very complicated, but it gives you some control over where your workforce is focused. And there's a lot of different automation too. That's by far the simplest. But it's really not that bad. Like, this one's just relying on 2 signals to control the mixing of water here. We're mixing a little polluted water with our clean water. Stretch it a bit. Yeah. But if you don't make use of the bad water, it's hard to really accumulate much water at all. So, end up using it. And this is all apparently 25 or less % contaminated, and flows from this primary reservoir here. And we add the bad water from above with this little valve. Yep, that's right. You can have a little as a treat. But actually our main like drinking water, and it's not a very important distinction, but it does come from this section here, which has no bad water. It makes it a little bit more efficient because the pump speed lowers when you're dealing with contamination, because it's filtering some out. So yeah, we're not mixing everything. This is our healthy reservoir here for also showers, because they're a bit more sensitive to that. They don't want much of the contamination in that at all. But the plants don't care whatsoever. Up to like 50%, but I keep it much lower. And I've got this crazy long aqueduct here. I have to angle around to show you, or I can just cut away real quick. There was a hidden spring in the mountain here. I kind of opened up access to. A little easier to see this way. So when the bad water isn't going, it just shoots up this column here. And it takes like no time at all and fills up the tube and then goes down the aqueduct. Mole people. Well, they do quite a bit of underground things in this colony I made. A lot of tunneling. But they're beavers. This is our main power storage here. Hey, Cooler. Good to see you. Yeah, beavers. Can't figure out what to place here. This has remained empty for like the whole time. just need a little bit more treated plank. Pretty good. Cooler. The updates have really brought this game to the next level. Automation in particular was incredibly welcome. The new transit systems are quite excellent. And they've done back and forth tweaks with the gates and valves, and now we've got a pretty good system. I hope they stop messing with it. Alright, chill, enjoy the lurk. We get some pics of the trip when you get a chance if you're still here. Love to see it. But yeah, we're just waiting out a 29-day bad tide, which is really no problem, but that's like the worst that we'll see. Maybe a 30-day is the most, I think. But this thing has no problem. We got a ton of water and more than enough food. I'll turn on one bell for you guys. I normally keep that off. Yeah, as I'm going through, if anyone has questions about what's happening or how I did something, happy to explain. And as I was mentioning at the start, I'm probably going to do a new playthrough at some point, especially after the launch officially happens. But yeah, I'm really impressed with what they've done. Game's come so far. I hope that they sell a lot of copies on the release date. So I did want to do what I can to spread the word of how good this game has become. Just kind of spreading those around to prevent water loss. I think my favorite addition was actually spiral stairs. That has been amazing. I'll probably get into map creation again too. I've got this old map that I'm pretty happy with still. I haven't loaded it up in a bit, but I think if I just add a couple of the new features and account for bad tides, because those weren't a part of the game back then, might be something I can put on the workshop. Yeah, we'll expect it. I think the release is on the 12th. That's not, if I'm not mistaken, so that's like tomorrow. Yeah, the 12th. Of course, anyone who owns the game on Steam now can get the 1.0 stuff, at least what they've put on the experimental branch. And if you need help doing so, let me know. Oh, I just realized we can optimize that. Always room for like just a little bit of tweaking. Sometimes it's fun. Let's see, this thing just needs a couple more planks and we're off. Earth Repopulator. I'll get my map achievement. It's kind of cool. Once you've done it on the map, they let you pick where you start, if you wish, on the next playthrough on the map. Thinking where I could get more height. It's kind of over here. These like two-story buildings that you can't put things on top of. It's tempting to like sink them into like put them on top of places where it's not getting tall, or put them in the walls. I feel like it's too far from the center to put a builder's hut any further. I do only like doing one district. This is actually where I started, but it looked very different. Yeah, so the original water source was here, and then after maybe a dozen or two cycles, I grabbed these as well. There's one here and one here. So I had those kind of loop around, and actually recently shortened the path of that water. Okay, so that dries out because this little thing is not close enough. Maybe we could fix that. I could definitely make it closer. Forever winter. Has that still been good? Have they kept up with the updates and everything? Haven't really followed. Yeah, it's still gonna be drying out there a bit more than I'd like. good. Do a bit like that. Once it gets too low, the irrigation effect doesn't spread. But if I at least have it like directly underneath it, then it works. So this will just kind of switch to being a reservoir for that. I thought it was going to work better having it stacked like it was, but now it's fine. Let them do a couple more. Should be plenty. So this is where this one has dried out to the point where it's really not drying much, it's just being used actively. These aren't the place for getting water, and in fact these are turned off until we get to a low state. So I don't think anyone's really collecting water right now. That's okay. It's not what to do to these roofs, and I don't really know what I want to go with. Okay. This is something I haven't noticed before. Do I just need this? I guess I probably just need that closer, or is it this that's the problem? So let's start with this. I'm guessing it's up here that real issue. Oh no. Oh, sweet. We're just waiting for them to finish constructing the repopulator now. Yeah, that was the problem. It's the water level has never been up this high. I only recently got the elevation up a bit more with this bit of levee here and additional terrain in this area. So that means contaminant was spreading farther. Well, you gotta bring the ruckus. I do kind of wish there was another game speed because the amount of waiting I do is a little high. Oh, same here, huh? Okay. All right. Why don't you bring rations with you, dogs? Like berries? I guess they need them for the kids. Hmm. Already has all the berries. Very nice. Very nice, in fact. That's our only berry location. I just realized I used to have one over here. It's been a while since I thought about it. Yep, a lot of stuff going on underground here. Alright, just a bit more than 7 days and we'll get to see some water move again. It's always my favorite part. Filling up the reservoirs. I've actually been getting this one increasingly full, but it really depends on the intervals. Like if we get big droughts with the tiny water season, temperate season in between, you don't get much. But at least when we get bad tides, keep our bad water going. We actually do run out of this stuff for the mixing. I don't actually remember how much we were ending up irrigating around here. Find out. We still have a pretty huge amount of water. Hasn't quite sealed it. See if these last two get the job done. Surprised they don't go with more complicated recipes. Like, we've got Irontails who love their metal devices, and they're not using that at all for their pinnacle Earth repopulator, a mechanical device, and it's, you know, you could have paper for the wings. Just don't know why they've made it simple. The folktails being simple, sure. I don't know. I guess it really doesn't matter. If you can build this thing, you can give it whatever the heck you want, and there's really no cost. I kept this one on, but it's annoying me that it's in this current state, so I'm going to change this up a little bit. And leave a permanent way for them to get down there, because I kind of neglected to previously. Can they build that from down there? I don't really know. No, they can't. The other nice thing about Bad Tide is how much freaking power I get from it. Pretty much don't need any other power source. Quite get it there. 2 days. I think I do need another pump. If I were really desperate, I could put more power wheels or water wheels in here too. I would need to make it a bit taller. Thing is, I'm not desperate. Is actually the lowest that I've seen the reservoir in a bit. But here comes the water. I think I'm going to watch the aqueduct fill up. Yay! We got water. Hopefully we get more than a quick temperate cycle. So yeah, we got everything flowing. It's a lot of power on the grid now. Just gonna let this thing run. Hasn't quite filled the extra section here I just added to. We did get that carved out. This one is so busy feeding all of the pumps here that it doesn't seem to fill very quickly, at least during the day. Yeah, that was a quick one. Good old 6-day. Getting close to overtopping this section. It's so painfully slow when they're just like feeding all these. Finally. What's the big one doing? All right. I might bump this up a bit. Yikes. That's only just gonna fill this. This thing usually overflows for days. But we added to the volume. And we had a lot of water to fill back up. Hardly made a dent in the little tanks there yet. Yeah, I might want to have them work on water from this at a larger threshold. Yeah, I'll just change it. Yeah, I'll just double the amount. Okay, yeah, just getting under 30% on the outflow here, which is good. And that's it. We're really not getting much more water than that. So enjoy it, beavers. I hope you have enough. I'm not worried at all. But yeah, that was brutally short after like almost maximum length bad tide. It's okay, 23 days, pretty manageable. It's like always the treated planks, and now we're actually getting low on the pine resin. I was wondering when that would happen. I've had no issues with it previously. If you can put them there, you may as well try. Not sure about this last tile. Okay, it works. A little bit more sap coming in. The one thing I haven't played around with is the robotics. At least this playthrough. I've done it with previous ones. And that was a couple updates ago. I don't know that much is different. I just don't find them to be really necessary. Beavers work hard. Alright, we got a little bit more pine. I guess if I was desperate, I could turn some of this into pine. I do have excess timber here. It's clearly not utilized. Just means I need another tapper's shack here. See how much they can do with that. It's all treated planks though, like all the good stuff. End up using a lot of them. I feel like it's going to take a minute for them to get around to this part. I may just need more builders. I have a lot of beavers who don't do anything. There we go. Look at them go. Use those hammers. It's totally what you have big beaver teeth for. Have them work a little bit longer. Okay. Got all those chopped except for a couple. sure where they're getting contaminated from, unless it's just from the 30% that I got. I suppose that's what's happening. I'll do them a favor here. Alright, little minor improvements here. Nice. I think we don't have enough hauling, actually. That's what I'm noticing. Alright, just trying to spread out where things are stored here. Seems good. Yeah, we're not really foresting up here at all anymore. That's okay. We have plenty of trees. I have this area to use for something. Maybe more housing. I do have homeless beavers. I really didn't notice. Oh. Blew a tank up so hard your game blew up? Radical. Kind of cool. Have a little inset barrack in the cliff here. I don't see why the heck not. I don't even know if we have access to that place anymore, but it looks like we do. Oh no, not yet. But we should just put a path down so they can get to it. Nice. Alright, everyone's got somewhere to stay. Need another one of these somewhere. Probably a good spot. What else are we lacking? I'm not worried about things that consume water for food on top of the water I'm already using. So they're never going to get these two foods, unfortunately. The mud bath is offline. What's going on there? On working hours. Makes sense. No one's using it though. There's no dirt. It's interesting. If I prioritize. Maybe it's because it's paused? Yeah, that's totally why. That's frustrating. So, I guess I can't limit it like that. And it's just gonna, like, run all day. But it doesn't need much power. That's okay. I could do something more complicated, like include an hour where they could fill it up. But who cares? Like, certainly not me. Okay, it's getting kind of low in here. Can we get more than 6 days of temperate this time? That would be great. Oh, wait a second. I don't think it's supposed to be running right now. But I've done something incorrect. No, I've excluded this one. It should be this side, right? I think it used to be. I'm gonna change that. So now, when it's low, it will stop. Okay. I feel like I don't need... I'm just gonna automate these things. I don't know why I haven't thought of that before. Duh. Beaver counter. Pretty sure 90 is our sweet spot. Yeah, I really don't know why that didn't occur to me sooner. They did introduce the automation stuff halfway through this playthrough, so... Wait, no, that's not correct. They... halfway through the previous playthrough. This is a playthrough that I started, like, right as they introduced the stuff. It was, like, the next day. So, only, like, a bit more than a week. Alright, so we'll have 90 beavers. That should cut back on excess water usage, leading to situations like this. I could probably go even lower. Let's see what 85 is like. Because the workforce fluctuates a lot as buildings turn on and off. And it's totally fine for some things to not be serviced all of the time. But I'll be real, this is the lowest that I've seen the water in this place in a long time. Like, maybe the first couple cycles where you're still setting up some kind of collection. That's as low as I've gotten beyond this. So is anyone else playing the experimental branch Timberborn right now? Or is everyone just waiting for it to come out on the main branch? Or if you're not playing Timberborn, what are you playing? I've heard Cooler's playing Forever Winter? Whatever that extraction shooter is. Which I admit, still kind of looks interesting. It's encouraging that you're playing it and they've kept the updates rolling. Okay, we've expended our reserve water. And as far as usable stuff, what we've got currently resides in this little basin here. Which just over one layer of material. Plenty of food, but yeah, the water situation is concerning. Probably going to bump this up again. So I'm aware that you can go higher than that, but also, like, as pumps take water out, they're concentrating the amount of bad water remaining. So while I haven't really seen it happen much, I'm worried that, you know, we could get a situation where this is too contaminated here. It would be really nice if this thing overflowed a bit this time. I need a see-through terrain, like all terrain, not just toggle. Like, is there such a thing? I don't believe there is. Yeah, hopefully some of these pines survive. Yep, good. We'll have a couple of mature ones here soon. Or sap producing, I mean. Cool. Didn't quite chew through this top layer of water. These lands are parched. I'm ready for more. Bring on the flow. Whoosh. So I do let it, the way I've got this configured, it lets it reset with a flush of fresh water. So once this, you know, main basin plus secondary basin here fill up, then this will start to rise, and once it gets to a half layer above this, then it'll allow some mixing. I feel like that's the reason why I haven't really had too many issues with the contamination creeping up, despite using an increasing amount of bad water. It's just nice to see the clean stuff come in. I'm going to have them work over time as we kind of get stuff planted and fill up these tanks. Oh, it's so polluted. Oh well. Nice. Getting somewhere with this one. Also getting a bit of water in the tanks this time. Come on, fingers crossed. We're already at 7 days, which is good. Give me a 9-day or 10-day one. Hell yeah. I'll have at least 8 days. I should fill up more than I need. But again, fingers crossed, because we could always use more. We have the room for it. Once this big main reservoir fills up, we have a secondary spillway here. So this used to actually contain water all the time. But, you know, it's area that we're not using and irrigating. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so 9 is good. I will take, or is that 8? Because yeah, day 8. 8 is what I mean. 8's enough. I was hoping for more though. Hard hollows. Yeah, for sure, for sure. How you doing, turtles? Behold. The beavers. I'm just enjoying watching my water tanks fill up. So much water. Nice, and we're overflowing here now, which means we may get a little bit pouring out into this even more secondary basin that really doesn't get much water anymore. Yeah, well, so there's 2 factions, and they both recently got mass transit systems, and the Irontails is by far the better one with subways. So like, we're going like underground with this shit. We've got, check out the grid here. Look at them go. They use the heck out of this. It's kind of fun watching that. So yeah, it goes everywhere. It's all connected. And they zip around at 300% speed, going mostly the direct way they want to go. The Folktales is not bad. You get zip lines, but each connection can only, you have to make a line. It can only go 1 to 1. So like you can have a continuous chain of that, but you can't have like a grid. I should also rewatch Futurama. Open for a watch if you'd like. Okay, so yeah, the contamination means now some of these are dry since I increased it. Yeah, maybe I'll move this over a little bit more. There we go. Just needs to be a little bit closer. Okay, how close is this going to get to full? Not very, but still a lot better than last time. The 5D. I mean, the overall assembly gets kind of complicated, but you just put little pieces next to each other one by one. I did kind of like go out of my way to leave room for the network of like, so there's two grids actually. There's the tubeway I showed you, but also the power grid. And that's a little bit more challenging to connect together, because at least with the tubeway, as you like place the structures, they can build inside the tube. It's kind of crazy. Like, I can place something next to the tube and they can build it. It's amazing. So you can build tubeways to nothing. That's another advantage over the Folktails transit. But yeah, this is a very long drought. I prefer a bad tide, but we have a lot of bad water saved up. And we've got a bigger threshold of contaminant going in, so we'll make this reservoir last, hopefully. We did have a little spill over here. Only a very little. I'll show a little slice through everything again. Yeah, in order to stretch the water, we're putting contaminant bad water into it. It's all water. They just filter out the good stuff from the bad when you're pumping it, which does make the little pumps less efficient, so I tend to have the collection here. And also they don't like to bathe in the mixed stuff either, but the plants don't care. So you just have it filling up all your farm basins. And if you get desperate, you can still pump water from it to drink. And I've got a little bit of automation here that just controls the amount, and it's right at the outflow, so it mixes it as it's being used pretty much. Yeah, I'll just show a little cross section of everything real quick. The top thing that you'll see is the aqueduct here. So there's a little pinhole through the mountain going to a spring that I found they buried into the map. And I felt like the most efficient thing to do would be to add it to the main reservoir, but it took a bit of work since it's got a long way to go. Yeah, thanks. Oh no, the water sources all turn off at the same time. I mean, it can push to infinite height, so it pushes through the tunnel and then up to whatever height you let it. There's other sources that aren't as strong in that way. There's actually quite a lot of bad water stored now. I used to run out. I don't think I'm going to run out this time. There's really not much cut into the mountain at this stage. you see like the water tank under the farm area to keep the farm irrigated during droughts, which I've got in a lot of places. I need to turn that bell off. It's too many bells. And that's the bottom. Yeah, I think it's just the new one. No? Is there another new one? I don't know, I might have gotten them all. I don't think that was just one making the sound though. Where else did I place them? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that was it. Oh, for sure. And it's nice that they let you toggle them. So yeah, now with all the main projects kind of done, I just mostly chill during droughts. At least during bad time, there's a bit more power coming in. But now we'll see the batteries start to get low. And then these big power wheels will kick on, get them up to 50%. But that does mean I'll probably turn this off until the drought's over, because that takes a fair chunk of power, actually. And it's not really giving me anything but just a little bit of well-being. Oh, sick. Okay, we're gonna launch this thing, get an achievement, and unlock a new mode for this map. Not really mode, but you can just like place your starting area anywhere you want, which is kind of cool. Wow! Oh, they didn't say it this time. Oh no, it's this one, isn't it? Yeah. I like there's a decreasing amount of emphasis on the buildings though, because this one isn't as cool, but still pretty cool. And then this one's just mildly like interesting. The cutest little wow. Wait till you hear this one. Nah, I don't. I think they do make a noise when it goes off, and I just had to hit the button. Holy shit! I don't see Dr. Strangelove. That's radical right there. So that's the repopulator. They got a craft that took 500 treated planks and 500 berries. Good luck. Oh shit, they're launching multiple. Okay, now I'm impressed. Hell yeah. Truly. I know, right? Alright. Oh, how many more? Oh, cool, you're done. How are each of those going? Beaver power. Oh yeah, these Irontail beavers like do asexual reproduction or something equivalent, where they've just basically like form their children in tubes. So I think it's totally feasible for one of them to go off on their own. Yeah, that's the GG right there, my friends. That's not a lot of teeth chipped. Holy cow! But it is a lot of dynamite. Oh yeah. No bots. I got I got no reason for bots though. But yeah, look at what the map used to look like. Very very similar in some ways, but I've made my mark. All right, chill. Welcome home. Glad you tuned in. I'll catch you sometime soon. All right. So let me just stop this because I don't want to waste planks and berries right now, or really the planks. I've had none planks for far too long, so we'll let those build up again. Game over, man. Yeah, thanks for watching, folks. I'm going to go a little longer, and the hope is to stream again more regularly. Although I'm going to be dog sitting like at the end of the week, so my willingness to dog sit, or sorry, stream while I'm there hasn't been very high lately. We'll see how it goes this time. We'll probably do shorter ones in the late evening hours, so kind of like probably ending around this time, if not sooner. Satisfactory entry for you? Is that what you're doing? So tomorrow I'll have some time to stream again, and the plan is to start a new playthrough. Some folk tales somewhere, kind of chill on hard again, and we'll celebrate the launch together. Oh yeah, I'm not switching to something else, my friend. Except for the pillow. I will be switching to the pillow in the near future, which I've gotten pretty good at lately. Pretty high gamer score on that one. I don't think I'm making it to the next temperate period. It's getting late here, so kind of getting to a stopping point, I guess. I guess is what I'm trying to say here. It's been nice being back. This is where I really wish I could speed it up. Not much is happening. And in terms of more projects, it's kind of hard to justify, because mainly what I would benefit from is having more water. And there's no project that will help me do that I can think of. the mixing is optimized, and we've got, you know, an increasing amount of optimization for stray irrigation. Of course, that's taking planks, so I'm not like worried about perfecting that right now. The treated planks kind of got slowed down. Sick, we're getting our first resin from over here. Pine sap, I mean. Yeah, like, if there was some way to do some massive project to augment the flow of water, or to like manipulate the seasons, that could be it. Like, Folktales change the weather as like their super late game project, and then Irontails like spend resources to like science and upgrade a geyser kind of thing. Like, I can see that. I think those are both on brand. You know, like fracking is what I'm thinking of, and you get like, oh wow, holy shit, guys, hear me out. Yeah, you inject through this machine that takes a lot of power, extract from bad water into the water source, and with that you get a supercharged water source that gives you more water, but also it's all polluted. Like, say pretty damn polluted, you know, it like just barely usable, but it's a lot of water. That would be so cool. I'm wanting to send this idea because I would love to see it happen. And then for the Folktales, like, shit, give me rainfall just once in the game. That would be so cool. Every surface gets irrigated, and then you've got, you know, the water pools rising. I'd love it. Hey Dardrian, good to see you. How's it going? Yeah, let's cook a little bit more on the Folktales thing, but the Irontails idea, I think, has been brought to you fully formed, and I don't think I need to change anything on that. That was good. Yeah, like, how would you do rainfall in this game? Because if there's just water sloshing on all the surfaces, then your buildings don't work. If they changed it so, like, you could have a little water sloshing, then that might be a thing. Because the way I think rainfall would be most adequately represented is by having enough water piling up to, like, pour into low places and accumulate. Otherwise, you could just have the Folktales make the temperate season last twice as long or something. Or, like, shorten a drought. You could, like, summon one day of temperate weather at will. That kind of thing. It's all the same, just more water through. Let's see, what would we discussed the resource for the Irontails. I don't think the Folktales, it would require a lot of power, but definitely like some sort of balloon going up into the air. Maybe lots of, well, they already did the balloons, didn't they? What would it be? I guess different balloons wouldn't be too bad, and it's certainly on brand, seeing as they had the. I guess those are more like lanterns. So those would be a little different. What's a cool Folktale resource that we could pack onto it? to make the weather all rainy. I'm trying to think of what they have separate. It's mostly just some of the food things, like not what I'm going for. I guess it could be like dirt and extract and like flour or something. Yeah. yeah. Something made from particles. So, those were my thoughts. I like the idea of ways to keep the game going after you've done everything and give you something difficult to do even later on. Because this is where I kind of just think, you know, I can just hang my hat and put the game away for a bit. But I do want to go through a Folktales playthrough with everyone, which once again I'm planning to start tomorrow, some point in late evening. Celebrate the launch of 1.0. The best I could come up with for some way to spend my time is to like pick a plot of land to engineer and kind of optimize over what I've got currently and make essentially a city from scratch and just have everything like completely optimized and thought out. But really, especially with the transit, it really overcomes a lot of the inefficiency that used to plague like the bigger towns that I'd make. Because you can have stuff pretty far away and it's still like just a second away for the beaver to get to. But even still, there's always room for optimization, and every little bit of that is something I could work towards. I just don't really get that much enjoyment from it. I've like kind of started that before on more than one occasion, and not once have I ever really finished it. And this was at a time when the game didn't give you some of the tools that we have now, namely tunnels. Like with tunnels, I think I can do it so much faster, it's not even funny. But it used to be a nightmare planning these things out. You kind of had just one shot at it. Getting like subterranean irrigation paths for all of your crops. So hopefully anyone inside of the stream has gained some interest in trying this out again. If you haven't played the game in a long time, or saw it and thought maybe it was interesting but not ready, I think it's in a really good place right now. So definitely give it a try. I think I will call that a stream. So thanks for watching. Good luck with your beaver villages. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or like want to make a town and are struggling or something. I'm gonna sign off now. Hope you enjoyed. Probably be on in about 18 to 20 hours, if I could guess. Sometime again in the late evening, so catch you then.